you some of Bradley Gray's, and I should say the name, but then I should really say the actual name of the shop.
Blown Mafia. Blown Mafia.
Blown Mafia.
That's right.
We're going to be looking at some of the cars. Troy's going to show us around. We're going to check out the trailer. I can't explain it. You're going to see the excitement on my face. Bradley, thanks for giving me your time. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. Beautiful weather. Couldn't ask for better. People cruising around.
People cruising around,
Right.
Street Machine Nationals, everybody here at Des Moines State Fairgrounds. I'm loving the atmosphere. I'm loving the sound, the noise behind me. The crowd is fabulous. I'm so glad that I've come here. Definitely something I'll be coming back to again. But Bradley, I've been looking at the cars and I love them. They're so different. And there's so much fine detail involved. You know, you see blower cars and then you look at yours and you're like, wait, what is going on here?
Yeah, well, I can see that. Yeah. Oh,
Tell me about yourself. How long have you been involved with this?
well, as far as hot rods all my life, since 60. I mean, yeah, I've been involved in this type of thing for probably, I've been showing for 24, 25 years. So, yes, a long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
Now, this is not what you do as your 9-to-5
No.
job.
No, I own a diesel repair shop. I work on rigs.
Diesel repair shop, so you're around the Cummings all day long.
Cummins, Cat, Detroit, the whole
Yep.
thing. Yeah,
But then your passion and your heart is with the big blower cars.
right.
And you did the big reveal today. Tell us about that.
Well, it's not necessarily a reveal, right? Because we built the Nova, the funny car, right? We took it to Pigeon Forge. We were in the Dirty Dust, or right there, Scotty.
That's where I saw
Yes,
it.
that's
That
where you
is,
see it.
and I think I actually saw you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So there you go.
Okay, I did see you. You were standing there, and I was running at the time, if you remember.
Yep.
Do you remember me running?
You're in a hot sprint. You're heading somewhere. I don't know.
I was heading somewhere. I think we were doing the cruise on that pontoon boat. It was either that or I was actually heading off to the airport to go to Barrett Jackson that weekend, which the videos are actually coming out now-ish. So anyway, I did see you there. And that is why when I saw that, I said, hey, I've seen this before somewhere.
Yes.
And I thought it might have been at Gasoline Alley. But no.
Yes, it was.
It was there.
Yes, it
I
was.
told Troy. I said to him,
Yeah.
do you know Al Libman? He had Gasoline Alley happening at Myrtle Beach.
Right.
Because I had seen it. I love it, even back then, but you were not there, so I couldn't get an interview when I was doing Gasoline Alley.
Right. Yeah, it was now when Gasoline Alley, none of the airbrush work was done.
Okay.
And none of the bumpers, just like this big red block, So, but since between then and Pigeon Forge, the last time you saw it, it's got all the bumpers airbrushed, everything. Bruce Mullins in Virginia did a great job on that. But as far as an unveil, it's not necessarily that. The Street Machine Nationals is about cruising,
Okay.
right? So this is the test for that car. If the car does good, which so far I've got no issues, then we'll step farther with it. But it's got to be able to cruise. Got to be
Because
able to
you need to get tags for it
yeah,
and get it registered.
Well, eventually, yeah.
And there's a few red tapes you've still got to tick off.
yeah. It's not a street legal funny car. It's a street driven funny.
Street driven, so you can take it out there onto the street.
Right. Correct. You guys. That's right.
But I'm so lucky that I saw it now because I've seen now the finished product.
Yes, that is the finished product. And that is the
Somehow things
latest.
work out like that for me. 2 times that I saw that, you were not around. Oh, I was running off like a crazy lady, but here I was able to get a full, nice interview with Troy. You guys are going to see that. It is just immaculate. And one of the things that I love more than that is the actual Chevy truck that you had.
Oh, the silver truck.
The silver truck, the 65.
Yeah, the silver truck I've had that truck for a very long time. Over 25 years I've had that truck. And it's really is a driver. The way you see it today, it's been just like that for 15 years or more.
And it looks like it's just come from the shop.
Well, yeah. I mean, to me, I see all the little things, but I guess to someone just walks up on it for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. I was like, okay, wow, whose is this? Where is this person? I need to know more about it. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
You did the mirror. It's got the mirror effect happening there on the aluminum.
Yes. Yeah. What it is polished and then it's hard anodized. So it's clear. It's clear, hard anodized, right? you can't polish it. No, it's not. You can't polish it. You can rub on all you want. It's not going to polish. Now, if you scrape it with a screwdriver or whatever, if you damage it in any way, it stays damaged. You can't fix it.
You can't fix it.
So it's been. You got to be very careful where you go and what you do.
Of course.
As far as that part goes, yeah.
So I mean, with those kind of technicalities in place, what made you want to do that?
No,
The local.
Well, no. Well, the looks one thing, but to have to keep that up, and people are like, man, how do you keep this up? Like, I wipe it, with spray wax. I mean, yeah. There's no way I could actually keep that looking like that in hand polish. There's just no way. It would be tough. We can put it that way. So that's why we went with that route. Just maintenance.
Just maintenance.
Maintenance, yeah. Easy maintenance. And that truck's a driver.
Yes.
I drive that truck a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Diesel mechanic, but then the fine work involved, and especially the engine bay and the detailing. Where does all that come from? The artistic side, the creative side of it.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if I have really a pinpoint on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it is very unique, some of the stuff that you've done, and there's a lot of fine details involved.
Well, there's a lot of older people, a lot smarter than me. Years ago, when I first started showing, some things stick, right? A man comes up to you and he tells you something. Sometimes it just sticks.
Yeah.
And a man, Rick Finmore, came up to me at a show, he was judging Chevy, and he said, make it look like you've touched every piece, every bolt, every nut, make it look like you've touched it. And if you follow that rule and you look at everything as an individual part, then, eventually you come up with a rhythm to detail, If you don't overlook something, all your bolts are facing the same way.
Yes.
If you look at your fender and how you're holding your fender on, and you look at that as a piece of that car, and each part has its way. If you make all of them match on both sides, there you go.
Then it's gonna make a difference. It's gonna stand out.
To some people, there's some people, a lot of guys that I got, and I could go either way, honestly.
Yes.
There's a lot nicer cars than mine that they may not have worried about that. But it's a nicer car than mine,
Yes.
But but it does, to me, it adds a little bit of flavor to the car when things are kind of thought out,
Well, I mean, I appreciate that because
Yeah.
you could have 10 C10s in a row and they will all look fabulous.
Right.
But when you walk up to them and you see the details on places where you really have to look and find,
Yes.
then that kind of makes it really stand out
It does.
from the remaining line.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. Go up this way.
Blown Mafia, when did you establish that?
That was done in 2013, I think it was. 2012, 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was more of a peer pressure thing, right? I had people saying, man, you need to get a name. You need to make a name, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Put a name to all the cars,
Yes.
at that point, right?
Because at that point you were already building and you had already built and stuff.
Yeah.
But now with a name behind it, people can actually contact you
Right.
and you can build for them something unique like this.
Well, that's the thing. I don't really get into building cars for other people. Now, I do engines and blower installs and that type of thing. But as far as like a complete restoration and stuff, it's just so much time consumed
Yes.
that it's hard for me to do that,
Okay.
So yeah, my love is working on rigs, big trucks. That's what I do.
Big trucks, yep.
But
Gotta love the big trucks.
my passion is hot rods, So yeah, and trying to do something a little different than the other guy,
So you're here at the Street Nationals. Where is your next show?
All right, so we go to Maryland, MIR, the racetrack there. They got a funny car chaos. That's a big deal. You should check that out. That's an up and coming series. So funny car chaos. Then we leave there and we go to Dead Man's Curve, which is in New Jersey. You're familiar with that show?
I've heard of that, yeah.
That is a killer show. Great show. Good people run that show. Then from there we leave there and we go to Indy, the Pro Street Invasion in Indy.
Heard of that one.
And then I'm going to leave Indy and I'm going straight up to Minnesota for Cruise for Cancer.
Cruise for Cancer, okay.
Cruise for Cancer. Good friend of mine, Tony Netzel, he's kind of ramrods that deal, and it's just a good cause.
Now, speaking of charity, Troy was telling us that you've done, you recently raised money for a friend.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do what I can. there was they were having a benefit. A friend of ours, he was diagnosed with ALS, and they were doing a benefit, to raise some money to help out there because of the initial shock of the thing, So we rode up. My son and I, we went up to I forget where they had it. Anyway, it was several hours away. It's a good day trip. Rode up there. What I did was on the silver truck, the glove box door. It's rusty. All right, so that's the story behind that. Is I pulled the glove box door off because it had signatures on it. John Forrest, Ashley Forrest, some good signatures on the thing. Matt, Debbie Hay, so to auction it off, hey, and hoping that somebody, and sure enough, man, they bid on that thing like crazy. They spent some money.
I bet.
On the glove box door of my silver truck, and that's I took other things up there, banners and all.
Of course.
But yeah, I don't really.
And then how did your glove box get replaced?
Okay, so I was there, right? And then another guy was standing there, a friend, Steve Yates, right? Standing there. He's like, "Hey, Brad, you have another glove box store?" I'm like, "No, I don't actually." He said, Meet me after this deal. Meet me in the morning. I've got a glove box store. I'll give you." And sure enough, he gave me one. So I gave them that one, and I had one before I left the auction or whatever, what I'm saying, before we came home. Because that was the whole point of leaving. It's just going up there, do the auction, go back.
So that's the thing. I mean, and that's why I had to stop and get more information and get more background information on Blown Mafia, exactly what it is. We see these cars, we see them on the streets, and I've said this before, people like to make judgments on the big loud cars. And the thing that I like is I like to bring the people behind it. The work, the effort, the dedication that goes on, and also the stories and the charity and the stuff that you guys get up to, because it's more than just making noise.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely. It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. That's exactly what it is.
For sure. But yeah.
Similarly, we had looked at the lowriders. We were in California, and they're such a great bunch of people as well. So
my son loves lowriders. He's just got this kick. This lowrider 63 Impala.
Who? What was
my
it?
son? My son
your son's
loves
right
it.
into them.
He loves lowriders. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's crazy. His car. He's got a 62 Biscayne.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah, it's blown small block and stuff, and loves the car and stuff. But he just has this niche for lowriders.
But now you're passing on all those skills, and obviously he's learning.
I'm trying my best.
He's trying your best.
I'm trying my very best. Yes, absolutely.
Well, you know what? This has been so cool, and I appreciate it. We're going to see more of the cars in action when you start the parade.
I think it's shortly. I think it's around like 3:30 when we head out to Pizza Hut.
Okay. Yeah, well, we're definitely going to see those big blowers in action as they head out for the cruise. But hey, I appreciate this, Bradley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Build them. Yeah, I do all the fab work for him.
Pro Street Alley here at the Street Machine Nationals. This is the kind of stuff you're going to find. And Troy, come here, stand in front of it and tell us, what exactly is this?
This is a street legal funny car.
Street legal funny car?
Yes.
Okay.
We purchased the chassis, we purchased the body, and then blended a complete system together to where Brad can actually get in and out of the car himself. Mm-hmm. We have electric actuators on the body that picks the body up with a key fob.
Wow.
Sets the body down. It is a 540-inch big block Chevrolet based motor. 2 671 superchargers. And it runs on pump gas. Yes, we can drive it right to the Wawa and fill it up. So
there's no alcohol here, there's no racing fluid?
Nope, with the cooling system and stuff is clear in the back. We drove it down to the brewery last night and back over to the motel into here and never got over 180 degrees.
Okay, let's have a closer look at this engine and then you're going to tell me about Blown Mafia.
Yes.
That's a big block Chevy and it's turbocharged as well.
No turbos, just supercharged.
Just supercharged,
yes,
okay.
Just supercharged.
I'm loving those fat wheels in the back.
Yes.
Goodness.
This car was originally, the chassis was built in 1984 for...
What car is this?
It is a 1970 Chevrolet Nova SS.
Oh, it's a Nova Super Sport. Okay.
Yes. And the body we found hanging in the rafters of a man's garage up in Pennsylvania. The chassis was actually it was an old Chi-Town Hustler chassis.
What's that?
From back in the 80s. This car was actually campaigned in the NHRA events back from 84 to 87.
Wow.
Somehow or another, it ended up in North Carolina, and we, stumbled across it. It had a big block in it, just carbureted with a Dodge Prowler body on it. So we purchased the chassis locally, and then went to Pennsylvania, picked up the body, and when we went to marry them together, the chassis was 10 inches too long.
Oh.
So I took it to my shop. I cut the front end off of it, and we built this Mustang 2-ish front suspension so that we could incorporate brakes and rack and pinion steering and just make it safe for him.
To make it absolutely street legal.
100%. Got to have all that. The headlights are actually in the turn signal lens area of the car.
Okay, so these are not real.
Those are not real. That is airbrush.
That is
all of
airbrush.
That was done at a shop up in Virginia, and taken care of by a man by the name of Bruce Mullins. Did all the airbrush work on it for us.
This is super cool. We're going to see it get lowered as well, if that's possible.
And
I am so fascinated by this, and I'm so excited. I want to see it in action, and more importantly, are we able to take it for a ride?
it's
No?
a single seater.
Oh,
Unfortunately, yeah. You have room for the pilot. That's it.
And I will definitely not be driving it, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is the epitome of a funny car, which is at the end of the day
Single-seater.
just a single seat. You had room for the driver, and that was it.
Of course.
The creation is an accumulation of parts and pieces that he has gathered up over the years. We had we had the extra blowers and stuff. We didn't have to go chasing all around to buy it. I own my shop, which is Wilson Racing, and so I did the fabrication work, on the intake manifold and stuff to be able to accommodate the blowers. And we were able to, just get the thing to, roll together. He got a powder coater online and was able to, do stuff. Brad is, quite handy in the paint booth, so a few things that we didn't powder coat, he was able to just toss the paint booth and, shoot the color. As you can tell, he's very fond of red.
Yes.
Guard, it is Porsche. Guard's red. And, pretty much, it as you can see, if you'll just kind of scan the side of the car, that is a fiberglass body. You can show them. That is a competition body that we have reinforced and made it to where it will raise on its own. And the tin work and everything is all powder coated and whatnot. I'll let it down.
Yeah, let's let it down, and
He's
then
got the key fob in his pocket, so I'll have to do it manually. But let me get to
I'll stand here. I'm just curious how that engine is going to be going through the cutout of the hood. It looks beautiful. It's been done so well. Obviously it's going to be sticking out, but no. Troy, I'm thinking there's a cutout at the hood. Oh yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is. There we go.
Yes, and it fits like a glove. All of the parts and pieces will hide right down in there. Everything is still functional. As far as there's nothing that interferes with any of the operation or anything.
Everything is functional. It really does fit like an absolute glove. I love the character of the windshield there.
And when you look at it, you'll never think that it would go into the blowers, but watch as it goes down. It just kind of folds in like the cards in the deck.
Wow. Wow, indeed. Not much visibility though.
It's way better actually than it did with one blower. With one supercharger, it was really hard to look
That's
around
true.
it. Yes, so when we put the superchargers on the V like that, he can look right down through the middle of it. And
It's
has
got that big gap in the
no
middle.
problem at all being able to see.
Wow. He's got the key, so we can't turn it on.
No, yeah,
But we can only imagine just how much.
it will be in action this evening. Everybody's going down to the Pizza Hut. There will be a cruise at about 4:30,
Okay.
and you'll see this one, Jamie's car, and Wally's car will pretty much lead the pack. All the supercharged, Zoomy cars are going to go first, so they
Okay.
announce
Okay.
our
Okay.
presence. So yes, it will be downtown to the Pizza Hut this evening, sometime around 4:35.
And you will all leave in one line from the show?
For the show here, there will be probably
I have to
35
get
cars.
that. I have to
Yes.
get you guys driving out.
Yep.
So
There will be about 35
4:30.
cars. This car will be ready to go. We're doing just a little bit of work on it yet.
Okay.
This it is ready because, like I said, we drove it last night for the brewery, and then he went, made the lap in it, so it's fine. Wally's car is an alcohol car also, so
Nice.
it has to have support.
Yeah. All right, Troy. Well, I appreciate this so much.
You are more than welcome.
Let's have a look at that truck. Now, this right here caught my eye before I saw the 65 Ford, and we had a chat with Roger. But now I have found out 65 Chevy, and it belongs to Blown Mafia.
Yes, Bradley Gray's Blown Mafia group. This is
I
one
must
of his-
meet this Bradley Gray.
yes, and you will. He's out riding around on the golf cart right at the moment. You're doing celebrity stuff.
He's got an amazing taste, and this build is just awesome.
He purchased this truck. He was like 25 years ago,
Wow.
and started doing the work on it. Then sold the truck to another gentleman that just had to have it. And a few years later, the man called him up and said, "Do you want your truck back?" And the only thing that was done was just the body work and the paint. So basically, Brad just started over at the front bumper, but left the color on the truck because that was kind of the agreement with the other gentleman.
And what was the color? Gray?
It is, call me a liar, but I'm pretty sure it is a.
It's not gunmetal. It's too light.
Yes, it's a Honda color, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But got a lot of metallic, a whole bunch of extra metallic in it and everything.
So tell me about the engine on this.
This is a small block 355 Chevrolet engine, and it is, as you can see, twin supercharged.
Twin supercharged.
Yes.
I've
dual
never seen that
supercharged.
before.
He's really good about stacking things up like that, as you can see. What he did on the lower on the supercharger, obviously the upper supercharger is in a conventional design.
Okay.
We took the bottom supercharger, we gutted it out, flipped it around, redoweled the front of it, and reloaded it again. That way it would allow us to flip the case upside down. So when you look at it, this supercharger is actually bolting to one that's upside down. That bolts to an adapter plate that goes to the intake manifold.
It looks like another engine block.
Yes.
And they fit so well.
Yeah, and this is his. This is his old girl. It is probably the most reliable little ride that he's ever put together. You could get in this thing, it could sit for a year. You go in there and pat the gas a few times, turn the key, and it fires right up and runs. He drives this thing everywhere. We actually did drag week in this thing 3 years ago, and
Wow.
and rode from Atlanta back up through. Followed the group. It's got what they call mirror finish anodized aluminum.
Okay.
So the aluminum that's on the thing is mar free because it has a anodizing on it instead of having a clear coat over a polished aluminum.
And that's what gives that
So-
mirror effect.
Yes, it's a mirror effect. You can see your hand in it, just so it is a mirror finish, but it is a situation where if you ever do mar that aluminum, you can never buff it back out again because the aluminum underneath is actually very, very soft. It is a non-polishable aluminum, but when they anodize it, it creates the mirror.
Okay.
So
this is
it's-
it for the life of this truck, unless he
is-
changes the panels.
Unless he changes everything, but it's very, very durable. I mean, we've had it rain on us 3 times here this week, and all we've done is just take and just grab a dry rag, wipe it off, and that's what you get back. So
You don't get any of those watermarks.
Yeah, you don't get the watermarks, you don't get anything, just for the finishing that they put on there. Now, this truck initially took, I believe it was like 5 or 6 sheets, and at today's price right now, they're a little over $400 a sheet.
Wow.
So, yeah, you're talking just in material, almost $2,500
Yes,
to
of
$3,000, just in material for it.
Of course.
And then work-wise alone, I mean, it's countless hours.
Wow. And this is on airbags, of
No,
course.
no, it is on coilovers all the way around, adjustable. But this is the right height that it runs at.
So what's the tank there I'm looking at?
Nitrous oxide.
Oh, okay.
Yes, polished nitrous tank, and then obviously our fuel tank.
For the fuel, yep.
Yeah, we lowered the truck about 4 years ago, and when we did, the exhaust would drag. So I reconfigured the exhaust and brought it over the frame and put it into the fender wells in order to keep it from dragging
And
the
this
ground.
is brought down all the way to the frame?
It is, yes, almost
Okay.
on the frame. We've got about 3, maybe 2.5 inches of ground clearance. So
It's still fairly low. I like it.
yes,
It's still fairly low.
really, really comfortable.
Without sitting completely on the
Everything
ground.
is really, the interior is functional. It's a vinyl. You'll finish on everything, but still tucked in really nice and looks really good. As far as what the design of the truck and everything. The glove box. Interesting fact: he had several. How should we say? Celebrity pro street people sign his original glove box.
Okay.
Rod Dauberton.
I hope he
Rick
doesn't mind me
Dauberton.
sitting-
No, that's fine. We drive it everywhere. Rick
Okay.
Dauberton, John and Ashley Forces was on there. We had Matt and David Hayes, all of them. About a year and a half ago, we had one of our brothers in the Pro Street area develop ALS. And it's taking him.
Okay.
It's going to eventually take him from us. So we pulled the cover off and let him toss it into the auction for raising, money for it. And it did really well. But then Steve Yates understood what we did.
Yeah.
And about 3 weeks later, a new glove box showed up for it.
Wow.
So that's kind of family that you get when you do this kind of stuff. You know people, and
Yes.
everybody kind of just takes care of it. But that's the part of that is fun about this. It's like drag racing or anything else. You develop a family,
And that's why I like coming up and interviewing you guys, because I love these trucks, but then a lot of society would see you and hear you on the streets, and people like to develop judgments.
Well, and matter of fact, even here at this show,
Yes.
I have had a gentleman come up to me and want to know why we butchered up a perfectly good 65 Chevrolet truck. The thing about it is, we didn't butcher up a perfectly good, we saved it out of a field.
Exactly.
It would have been rotted to the ground if we had not gone out there and took this truck out of the ground. When we got it, I mean, honest to God, the usable parts of this thing was 2 bedsides in the cab. That's all that was left that was usable.
My take on that is these classics are absolutely beautiful.
Oh.
And we love them. We love the body lines and stuff. But in order for the love to continue, everybody, in order to get the attention of passers-by of the younger generation, we have to do things to draw them in.
This is,
and get them thinking and asking questions. What is this? Is this a Chevy Classic? What year?
Yes.
And get them to find out about
absolutely. And I am very, very pro teaching. I love it. I'll show anybody anything. I don't have any secrets. I've got my way of doing things. Brad's got his way of doing things. For 23 years now, I've known him, and we finally came to the point to where we could just look at each other and understand what we have to do. It's been one of those things. If he'll throw something on my plate now, it's very, very easy for me to take it from being just a mixed up mess and be able to just put it in nuts and bolts figure. And that's what we love. We've got, just like this car, that's less than 8 months, and we're out here driving it around.
But I like to put faces behind the names, faces behind the big blowers, behind these awesome big engines, the loud engines, and
Oh,
especially
yes.
to find out that you guys do charitable work like this as well.
Yes, and like I said, this truck has been together for quite a spell.
Yeah.
He's actually been driving this truck. I mean, not on the same configuration as far as motors and stuff go. There has been a couple of incidences, we should say, that we've lost motors, but in the long and the short of it, this thing has been together for basically 25 years.
25 years, but look
Yeah.
at the genius, the ingenuity behind this. To put those superchargers upside down on top of each other
Yes.
and to make it work. It's so creative. It looks fabulous. I'm loving it. I appreciate this so much, Rohan.
Oh, you are more than welcome, because this is what it's about.
Exactly.
This is what we love to do.
Thank you, mate.
Oh, no trouble. Have something to be able to tow the toys with.
Let's continue with Blown Mafia and have a look at the trailer. Now, the truck first, Troy. What truck is this?
It is a 93 Kindle. I guess the easiest way to say it is just a simple coach. It does its thing. It's got 10-speed, with a cat motor in it, 10-speed, and over/under on it. It has been stretched 5 feet.
5 feet.
Yes, there was a stretch from the back of the sleeper.
And when
We
you
added
say
5
stretch, I'm guessing you've added on more sheet
Yes.
metal. Yes.
The frame itself.
The frame
we
itself.
actually cut the frame. The screws on this truck used to be right at the end of the gas tank. So we cut it in half right here and added basically 5 feet of framework into the vehicle. They say you can't be over 84 feet, so why not be 84 feet? So that's
You just got to push it right to the limit.
Take it out there and make it right. Well, and it's different. Then obviously, it is it's registered as a motorhome, so that
It's
you don't have
registered
to
as a
deal.
motorhome?
Yes, registered as a motorhome. There's
But
sleeping
inside the
quarters.
trailer, there is no kitchenette in there, is
No,
there?
there's no kitchen. Well, I'm
It's
not
all
going
in
to say that,
cars.
because their version of a kitchenette, you can have a bowl with some water in it and a mirror. And so basically, a chemical stool, a bowl of water, and a mirror, and that's classified sleeping quarters. So we've got air conditioning. The front portion of this thing, from the neck right here, the front portion where the window is and stuff, is sleeping quarters.
Okay, well, I really want to have a look inside.
Oh yeah, it's.
I hope this is going to be okay with Bradley. Bradley, if you're watching this, I hope it's fine that I've just been here checking out the cars. Amazing build, absolutely amazing.
I don't know what he's got going on in the truck, but you can see, the whole inside of the truck and everything is, done up, in his fashion and in his style.
Wow. Oh my. Okay, I gotta get inside. I have to get inside. Okay, this is just wow.
Sit in the seat for a minute there.
Okay, I always have so many things in my pocket.
It is.
Okay, let's have put this on away as well, because
Yeah,
this is. I love big trucks. You guys all know that. I've seen a few old fire trucks and vintage trucks that we've had on the channel, and I love it when they're red. But this one takes the cake. That is for sure, everyone. Check out my view as I step in.
You got a handrail right over there on the other side, right there. There you go.
Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't know what to look for first, but let's start with the top console here, the overhead console. The liner here is all leather.
Yes.
It is so cushiony. It is so comfortable.
Oh yeah.
This is just.
It's got a 10-speed road range transmission with an over and under in it. Air ride seats. I mean, it's got all the creature comforts.
This is so comfortable.
Yes. And the truck itself is, set up to where it just has all the power in the world. It doesn't even know the trailer's back there. It just
Wow.
rides around pretty much all day.
Wow. So many buttons, so many
Yes.
gauges.
That's the trucker part of him. His father was a truck driver. His grandfather. That's I'm pretty sure what led him into the profession. And
Gotta love the Tommy gun.
yes,
It's not a truck if it doesn't have one of those.
that's part of the Blown Mafia thing.
Okay.
That's the. But if you look at the gun, look at what the magazine is made out of. A blower pulley.
Of course. Of
How else
course.
wouldn't you?
Of course. Look at this. This is just.
Yes.
If you're gonna travel, you gotta travel in style. You gotta draw attention, and This definitely takes the cake, honestly. Wow.
Yes.
This is absolutely beautiful. So comfortable. What are these shifters? These tall shifters?
The 3-ball shifter is a 10-speed Road Ranger.
Okay.
And the 8-ball shifter is the high-low. That's the splitter. So basically, you know, it's way more than enough. It had a dual transmission arrangement in it when he first got it, and the second trans got away because we just didn't need it. You know,
Wow.
it went from a work truck to luxury.
It's definitely very luxurious. And then let's have a look to see where he puts this awesome builds in the trailer. But I'm loving this. Super cool.
And like I said, it runs really, really well.
And he's got a bike there, of course, as well.
Huh?
He's got a bike there.
Yeah, it's just the old showpiece. I mean, I think I said it is a functional running bike. It was purchased for a man's son, and when he found out that it would do about 60 miles an hour, he decided that his son didn't need it anymore. So offered it up to Brad, and we cleared off what was on the deck up here, and I built the hold down, and we mounted the bike.
Wow.
Up until this event, it used to have a skeleton ride there.
Of course.
Yes. You know, and then,
That doesn't surprise me.
Yes. And then at night, it does light up, and it'll do its thing too with all the lighting on the front and
Okay.
stuff. So,
Yeah, let's go around and have a look inside this.
trailer itself.
And something is hiding inside.
Yes, there is a 69.
Brief craze in the cloud. They're the real
We've
deal.
got a few extra little.
I'm just submitting my membership application on mycrossroadscmu.com website.
It just keeps getting bigger.
Yes, it does. Indeed.
Okay, it really just.
Yes.
And you've got 2 superchargers on this as well.
This is twin turbocharged.
Twin turbocharged.
So we are compound
Two
superchargers.
turbos. Two
So-
turbos and a supercharger.
Yeah, twin turbos and a supercharger. Nitrous oxide.
You step up to the tee box and
Look at this. This is the stuff that I love. Look at these details here.
Yeah. And he's really, really good at that. He's very, very detail oriented. Knows what he wants. Knows what what he has to do, and then he gets up with the right people to make it happen. I mean, he just knows too damn many people. That's what it is. You know, anytime he wants something, he pretty much can find it. You know, it's like.
I love the color coordination that is done here. Everything is just it's beautiful. I mean, down to where you fill up, he's got flames engraved.
Oh yeah, right in the filler cap for the radiator. Interior in it, it's going to be kind of hard to get to. I'll see if I can pull back a little bit to see, kind of get a glimpse of the interior, but
Oh wow!
pretty much everything Brad does is got a tan leather interior in it.
Tan leather interiors.
Yeah, tan leather on the guard tread.
And what is that tachometer there at the front, the big one?
That's exactly it. It's a tack, and then there's warning lights. You got your shift light, you got your oil pressure light, you got the water temperature light. You know, so any of the main arteries break or
Yes.
something like that, the light will go off immediately with sensors that are built into the engine.
And that's pretty cool because a light's going to draw your attention a lot more quicker than to be
Yes,
seeing
way faster.
gauges.
Yeah, because when this thing's running, I mean, it's as you can see, there's just a lot of stuff going on, so you don't really have time to just keep looking down at the gauges to make sure things are going. So we incorporated lights into it so that if something did go wrong, it would immediately inform him to where he would have time to get it shut down before damage anything else in the engine. So
I'm going to take some pictures of this. This has been so cool.
yes,
I'm loving Blown Mafia. Thank you, Joy.
yes, he does. Like that. He's got a lot of toys. He's got a sacrifice just a teeny bit of this area.
To put a restroom in.
Well, I think maybe a 4th car.
A 4th car.
Yeah, because
of
we
course.
can handle 3 in here right now, comfortable. But we got like 18 feet up there that we've got room to do some
Do
growth.
more stuff.
So we may end up moving this partition wall up to here
Okay.
to gain 20 feet, so we'll know we got room enough for another.
But the
car.
living quarters, it's got all, like you said, the creature comforts are there, microwave and stuff that you would need.
Yeah. all the stuff, when you're staying at a show like this,
You need to do it.
just, place to change, place to, just get away from everything for a minute, just to, cool back down.
Well, let's have a look here. So if somebody wants to get in contact with Bradley, they're falling in love with this,
Yes.
and they want him to do something, let's have a look at those details.
Yes, you can, I don't know if he's got anything on the back of the cards. Yeah, he's got all the information and everything right there.
And he's just in North Carolina.
Yes, we are, just in North Carolina. It's 11 and a half hours for us. But
Yes.
Yes, we are just in North Carolina. You can have that.
Oh, well, I've got it on my camera, so I'll let him save that card.
But,